cursed Arjuna trees. One day, Mother Yashoda got fed up with Krishna's mischievous behavior. She angrily decided to tie Krishna to a mortar. She took a rope and started tying Krishna, but the rope was short. So she took another one, but unfortunately it was short too. She tried many ropes, but none could perfectly tie Krishna to the mortar. Finally, she was tired. Seeing her mother tired, Krishna tied himself. Yashoda went to do her household work. In an attempt to move, Krishna let the mortar fall and started moving on his knees along with the mortar. He reached two Arjuna trees near the gate. He passed from the gap between them and the mortar got stuck in the gap. He tried to pull the mortar. Due to pressure, the two trees were uprooted and a bright light emerged. The trees changed into two humans, Nal Kuber and Manigriv. They told that they were cursed by sage Narad to change into trees. Now, by God's touch, they were freed from the curse. They thanked Krishna and returned to heaven. Hearing the noise of the falling trees, Nand and Yashoda rushed to the gate. Nand untied his son and took him in his arms. Krishna and the fruit seller. One day, Krishna was playing with his brother Balrama at home. Just then, a street vendor reached their gate. He was carrying a fruit basket over her head and calling out people to buy fruit. Krishna heard his voice and hurriedly ran towards the gate to see the street vendor. He was attracted by juicy fruits in her basket. He ran towards the kitchen and carried some rice in his fist. He went to the fruit seller and offered the rice in his fist. He wanted to get the fruit in exchange of rice. But when he opened his fist, it had only a few grains. The rest had fallen on the floor through the gaps between his fingers. It was a joyful sight for the fruit seller to see this innocent behavior of Krishna. He smilingly gave all the juicy fruits to Krishna and took nothing in return. When the fruit seller returned to his cottage, he saw that his basket was filled with gold coins and ornaments. He realized that it had occurred by the grace of God. He was overwhelmed. He prayed to the Lord and thanked him for his gift. Krishna resides in Vrindavan. The demons of the cruel Kans had started to visit Gokul frequently, trying to kill little Krishna and to trouble the Gokul residents. They caused great damage to the life and property of the Gokul residents. Everyone was worried about the repeated visits of the demons. The two Arjuna trees at the gate of the Nand had been uprooted without any storm. People thought that it was also a mischief of some demon. So all the Gopas under the leadership of Nand and Yashoda decided to leave Gokul and take shelter in Vrindavan. Bulls and cows were yoked to the carts and all the luggage was loaded onto the bullock carts. All the gopis and the children sat on the carts while the Gopas took nightsticks, bows, arrows and spears. They walked on foot to guide the carts and also to protect the gopis and the children. Rohini, along with her son Balrama, and Yashoda, along with her son Krishna, was sitting on the same bullock cart. All other gopis were talking and appreciating the two beautiful brothers throughout their journey. This way, Nand's family, along with all the Gopas, left Gokul and went to reside in Vrindavan. Krishna kills Bakasur. One day, Baka, a demon of Kans, took the form of a giant crane and visited Vrindavan. He sat near a river. When the Gopas, along with Krishna, took their cattle near the river To quench their thirst, they were frightened to see the giant crane of the size of a mountain. The Gopas started running away towards their houses along with their cattle. At the same moment, Bakasur pounced upon little Krishna and carried him away in his enormous and pointed beak. As soon as Krishna entered his mouth, he started increasing the temperature of his body inside his beak. His body became as hot as fire. Bakasur's mouth began to burn. He at once threw Krishna out of his beak. Now he tried to attack Krishna with the tip of his pointed beak. But Krishna held both the upper and lower beaks of the crane. He stood on the lower beak and began opening the upper beak with his hands. When the beak was fully opened, he spread the upper beak even more apart, so that Bakasur's body might be divided into two halves. Thus Bakasur died. All the Gopas rejoiced at the death of Bakasur and appreciated their friend Krishna.
Thanks for watching. Do like, share, subscribe to Sahil Book House.